Rewind back to 4 years ago. The year is 2020, and the world was shaken by an ongoing pandemic caused by coronavirus disease or COVID-19. This virus outbreak brought a lot of massive changes to our daily lives, forcing us to adapt to new way of living and new regulations. And we even got a new term to live by, that is new normal, refers to the significant changes that have occurred in our daily lives regarding our social interactions and how we conduct businesses and all the adaptations, behaviors, and efforts and practices that we have adopted in our daily lives in order to mitigate the spread of the virus and to live safely. Adjustments were needed everywhere, including in the government operation. One of the area that were heavily impacted is the legislative work, specifically for the Regional People's Representative Council, or in Indonesian, it's Dewan Perwakilan Rakyat Daerah or DPRD. DPRD has two critical periods. First one is session period or masa sidang, and the next one is recess period or masa reses. Well, what is recess or recess? Recess is the activity of the DPRD member outside their session period to visit their electoral districts in order to observe or accommodate constituents' aspirations and to directly see and verify the implementation of policies implemented by the executive institutions. And also, recess as the obligation of the DPRD member had to be carried out or conducted periodically and routinely, and in order to carry out their duties and functions. And also, as one of the instruments for the democratic policies, this recess is the form of the participation of the community and to realize the uh, democratic process of the policies democratically. Or why recess, or why do DPRD member have to do the recess? Because recess aims to realize the development that concerns people's life by observing an aspiration and also giving the following up of the action that they took regarding that concerns, and also in order to provide moral and political accountability. Because, for example, say for one region, people in there may or may not voted for one person, and then they have to give back their moral feedback and also their accountability as the representation of that region. And also, this is related to my next point, is that the realization or manifestation of the people representation in the government, like they have to live up to their name, because yeah, and then they are the represented their people's representation. However, the implementation of recess in various regions in reality have not been optimal due to several things concerning whether it's the administration or even the technical issue. For example, the issue of transparency and then accountability, and also about the budget. A lot of council member, not a bit, like many council member facing this issue because whether is it about their transparency, like are they actually taking actions of the what people are facing, people's concern, and also the transparency of their budget, the transparency of their actions, and also the timing of the recess, which sometimes coincides with people's activity. For example, even like me, a university student, or maybe a 9 to 5 worker, like sometimes that recess was held, like we can't attend. So maybe if I have a concern that I want to convey, I can't really do that because it coincides with my schedule. So aside from those, the budgets for this recess program is not a small amount, especially multiplied with every council member in every regional area. And also, even the cut version of it is still not a small amount. So, the restriction of this recess process have been increasingly felt in the last 2 years because of the COVID-19 pandemic, where the government issued a policy regarding the health protocol. For example, the obligation of wearing masks, we have to maintain distance, and we have to avoid crowds to prevent the spread of the virus. And also, as a result, conventional recesses, which have so far has not really been optimal, are even becoming less optimal because the recess audience are decreasing, which means the aspirations that are accommodated are also decreasing. Therefore, we offer a solution through Rasa's mobile application or ResMob while answering the theme of the Magia 7 competition or multimedia endgame event, that is, digital solutions to problem arising from the pandemic. Due to the pandemic, the Resas mobile application is an Android-based application created to support the implementation of the Resas of specifically for Makassar City, Makassar DPRD Kota Makassar, so that they can continue to carry out their functions. We facilitate the needs of the Legislative Council recess. At the same time, we're helping them. At the same time, we're also facilitating the public who want to channel their aspirations, especially if they are constrained by time and place. The objectives for this project is that we support the implementation of recess as a solution to that all people or the constituents can participate in conveying their aspirations amidst the strict implementation of this COVID-19 of the COVID-19. And for the benefit, we are expected this project to be useful in increasing the quantity of quality of community participation in the policy making process as one of the political instruments in the democratization process. In addition, we also hope that research that was conducted through the ResMap application can increase in effectiveness, accountable, and even more inclusive. Next up, the scope or the limitation of this ResMap app is that it was created specifically for the Makassar City Regional People's Representative Council or DPRD Kota Makassar. In this case, all 50 council members and their respective constituents based on 5 electoral districts, so that so they can still channeling their aspirations in the midst of a pandemic back in the 2020 to 2022. The target users for the Rasas mobile application are the constituents of Makassar City, which are divided into 5 electoral districts, namely Electoral District 1 until Electoral District 5. Or in Indonesian, it's Daerah Pemilihan or Dapil, which each of these electoral districts consists of several sub-districts. So for example, I live in sub-districts or Kecamatan Rapocini, and that is at the Electoral District 1. And the development of the technology stack used for this development is that Rasas Mobile was developed using the Android Studio IDE or Integrated Development Environment, using the Java programming language and the XML for the layouting markup language. And we also use PHP for the scripting to the communication to the server side. And we are using the MySQL database storage. And we have to send it back to the application using JSON or JavaScript object notation. And the last picture is that the process of the development of the application. This is specifically the layouting or using the XML markup language. So yeah, our code base contains 12,523 lines of code only for the Android mobile app alone without the PHP web server scripting, which we completed over the course of one dedicated month, because at the time where I was in my last year of high school, senior year. So yeah, we're online school in the morning till noon, and then at night we're devoted to developing this app. This in a way is my biggest project, because maybe not technically or technologically, but this was what I submitted to the Magia 7 competition, and my team won the first place, and it eventually got me into my current university, where I'm undergoing my 5th semester right now at Institut Teknologi 10 November in Computer Engineering Department. And we encountered several technical challenges throughout our development. For example, data security and privacy, because the nature is sensitive for such data, so we have to make sure that it was secure. And also real-time data collections, and we needed a system to collect and display data in real time, and also user accessibility, since constituents come from diverse background, whether it's age or educational background or familiarity with technology. So we have to make sure it's user-friendly for all type of user. And then this is the design system as a solution that we come up with. This is the user interface application. We have this button for primary and secondary button system, and then also text fields. And then this is the main card views, and then pin views for the verification number and ResMap code, and also the navigation bar. We have two here because there will be two flows of application, which will be explained later. So yeah. Okay, so now, how is the Rezky mobile application actually? So this is the video of it. Okay, allow me to pausing it while also explaining stuff. So, like I said earlier, there are two flows for this app. First one is the user flow, and the next one is the day one flow, or the flow for the council member. So first, we have to register or even log into our account. We have to input username, phone number, identity number, and password. And after that, if you already have it, just log into your account. You can log into your account inserting username and password. And now this is the first home screen is that will show a few of recent aspirations. This will show all the aspirations for all user in the ResMob app, so all community member. And then we can see here there are attachment, and also there are camus or category, and also the electoral districts and the issue that they're concerning about. And then next up, if we want to add an aspiration, go to the add aspiration page and give permissions to required for the requirement, for example, storage, locations to verify your location and the electoral district, and then also camera, and yeah. So next up, you have to first choose sub-district or kecamatan. So yeah, for example, there are these options, 15 in Makassar, and then you have to choose the council member in that area. For example, if you choose daerah pemilihan 3, so these are the 6 people, 6 council member in that electoral district 3. And then the camus or category, for example, infrastructure or health or prosperity, and yeah, other stuff. Next up, you can type in your aspirations and add an attachment to support it. And this is the halaman info DPRD, and this is the user page. You can show it shows all the aspirations that you've posted before, and also show the status like verified or processed. And after that, the flow for the day one is that first we have to input the code, the unique code for all 50 day one, for all 50 council members. So for example, for that one is this council member, and then same one, all the aspirations for all users, from all users, and we provide a dashboard to show that all the aspirations that are addressed or pointed to them. So we have this summary of how many are verified, processed, done, or even declined. So these are, we also provide a recapitulation data and a feature to respond back to them. And the same one, this is the info page. And then after that, we also provide a forum discussion, like not only the community people and also the Dewan or council member can interact in this forum discussion about a lot of topics, for example, general, COVID-19, or education. Okay. Next up, for the development, we are hoping we can integrate some features like Epokir or even SIPPD from Bapeda Makassar to this ResMob application. And we also weighted some pros and cons. For example, we improved accessibility of the recess, and we enhanced transparency and accountability, and also an efficient real-time feedback, while the contra that we're facing is like limited by internet access. Some features, like we still need internet or connectivity to fully functional, and then also learning curve for less tech-savvy users, and also data security concerns. And in conclusion, one of the problems that arose due to the pandemic was the suboptimal implementation of recess, whether is it because the technical issues and also for the health protocol that was applied at the time. The digital solution that we offer is the Rezky mobile application, and we submitted it to the Magi 7 competition. ResMob can still be used even though recess is carried out conventionally. Like for now, we no longer have the issue of the COVID-19, namely as the documentation of activities. But we also, like we said earlier, we enhance effectiveness of the Rezky mobile of the recess process for DPRD. So I think that's all for me. This is my presentation for the Garuda Ace as a submission requirement. My name is Rezky Dwisantika from Institut Teknologi 10 November.